Hey everyone, and welcome back. I have another little review for you guys today. I know I've been doing these a lot lately, but I have a lot of products that I kind of wanted to make videos on. If you can hear piano in the background, my sister is teaching right now, so I apologize for that. Today I wanted to do a quick little review for you guys on the Maybelline MasterCamo color correcting kit. I think this came out quite a while ago now. I'm not sure when exactly this launched. It's going to be very similar to the L'Oreal concealing palette that I just reviewed. I will insert a demo of me applying the product, a before and after. Just like in my L'Oreal video, I'm not wearing foundation on my face today. I am just wearing this concealing palette to cover up blemishes, and I did not put foundation over top. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you for watching. Okay, so right off the bat, I am actually more of a fan of the L'Oreal concealing palette. I have mine in the shade 200 medium. I feel like the options are kind of strange with this palette. The lighter shade had different color correctors in it. I think it came with like a green and maybe a purple. And then the dark shade of this palette, I don't even know if it had color correctors in it. I think it was just darker concealer shades. I don't know, but I ended up picking up the medium shade. The two that I'm pointing to here are the color correcting shades. You get a yellow and a peach. The middle shades are supposed to be the concealing shades, and then you have two highlighting shades. All of the concealers in here are matte except for this highlighting shade. This has shimmer in it, and I did apply this on my face today, so you'll see it in the demo. I don't think this is a bad concealing kit, but it's definitely not my favorite thing to spot conceal with. I love the concept of this because I like that you get the chance to mix and match the shades, and I don't actually think you need to follow with the instructions on this. I think you can mix and match all of these shades to get your custom look. Like the yellow shade, if you have more of a yellow undertone to your skin, you can mix the yellow in with the concealers, or you can mix the peachy shade in, or even the lighter highlighting shade. So I don't think you have to follow the guidelines on this. I think you can just use your judgment and mix all of them to get a custom shade. I like the idea of being able to mix these shades together, and I like the packaging on this one better than the L'Oreal one because this one is smaller, it's more compact. The L'Oreal one is kind of very long and it's a little bit awkward to store, whereas this one is nice and small. I just felt that overall the formula on these concealers was too stiff and too dry for me. I don't think it's as full coverage as the L'Oreal concealer palette. Like you can still see blemishes and discoloration poking through on my skin, so it doesn't have like complete full coverage, but you do get a decent amount of coverage with these, so that's not a problem for me. It's just the stiffness and the texture of these that I'm not such a fan of. You definitely need to use your fingers to apply these because if you use a brush, it's going to be way too stiff. I've tried it with my e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush and just going directly into the colors and then applying it onto my face, and I basically got no coverage with that. But then I did try it with my finger, and I'll show this in the demo as well. And when I pick it up with my finger and warm it up that way, then it's much easier to apply. They become a lot more creamy, easier to blend and work with. And then once I pick it up with my finger and spot conceal on the areas I need to, I take my e.l.f. brush and I just kind of blend it in with this brush, or you can use a damp sponge. I tried it both ways and both kind of work. You'll definitely get more coverage if you blend it out with the brush. However, it's definitely more difficult to work with than my NYX concealer jar or my L'Oreal palette. It definitely takes a little bit more work, and you're going to be sitting there and kind of blending it in for a little bit longer. I think the overall result is actually pretty nice on my skin. It doesn't look especially cakey on me. It has pretty good coverage, like high, medium to full coverage. I have not used these under my eyes because I already know that it's going to be too dry and heavy for my under eye areas. But for blemishes, it does work pretty well. I'll insert the demo right now so you can see how this concealing palette applies and looks on my skin. As you can tell, I do have quite a bit to cover up on my face. I pick it up with my finger first. I go in with the lightest concealing shade, so the middle row there. And I sort of mix that one with the lighter highlighting shade and kind of make my custom shade that way. Blends out pretty decently with my e.l.f. concealer brush. I'm not really having a problem blending out the concealer. I recommend you don't spot conceal your entire face and then blend it out. Blend it out kind of as you go because it does kind of dry pretty fast on your skin, so you need to work really quickly. Once you warm it up with your fingers, it is a lot easier to work with. And as you can tell, the coverage isn't amazing. If you want fuller coverage, this is not the way to go because you can definitely still see blemishes poking through. I feel like the shimmery highlighter is also a little bit too dark. I know this is meant for a medium skin tone. Even then, I feel like it is almost like orangey. It looks okay under foundation, but if I'm not putting foundation on top, I feel like the highlighter is too dark for my skin tone. So just keep that in mind if you're on the lighter side of medium. The overall finish of it doesn't look super cakey. You notice that on some of my drier patches that it's kind of clinging to them just a little bit. Like I can see the concealer sitting on top of my dry patches. So I don't think this would work well if you have drier skin or if you have a lot of dry patches. But I don't know, I kind of like the way my skin is looking. I can definitely leave my house feeling comfortable with no foundation on top of this concealer. I felt like the coverage is decent and it doesn't look super cakey or dry on my skin. I did moisturize and use an illuminating primer. Those two things I would highly recommend you use before applying this. It is a drier consistency, so you just really want to make sure your skin is hydrated. So overall, I don't think this concealing palette is bad, but I don't think I would repurchase it if I had the chance. It's definitely not my favorite. And I feel like if you're gonna buy a concealer palette, you might as well spend a little bit more and get the L'Oreal one because it's a lot easier to work with and it's just a better formula. I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of this. Those are my thoughts on this Maybelline concealing palette. I don't think it's the most horrible concealer out there. Recommend you pick up something like the NYX concealer jar or the L'Oreal one. I think those are better options than this, but I'm gonna continue to use it because I bought it. You can make this work. It's just gonna take a little bit more effort. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you found it helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, please subscribe if you would like to see more videos, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!